This is the number 5 face cloth pattern in my series, and this is the first advanced pattern. It's called a Twisted Braid. It's kind of hard to see in the picture, but I do have one here. As you can see, there's a lot of yarn over, knit two togethers, and some SSKs. The SSK is what causes it to either curve one way or the other way. I think this is the direction of an SSK, and I think this is the knit two together, but I get better when I actually get started making one. I just wanted to show you what it looks like before we get started. It's not a hard pattern to do once you get the hang of it. It's just a lot of repeats. And begin, it's like always, we're going to cast on 53 stitches, knit 8 rows, increasing 4 evenly across the 8th row. And then we'll start the braid. And as you can see, the braid is quite lengthy. There's actually 16 rows to do a braid, and you only repeat it twice or possibly 3 times. Because when I looked at this one, I realized, let me see if I take this out, it's not exactly a square, it's more of a rectangle. It probably needs a partial repeat up here of maybe half of it, like maybe 8 rows. But we'll see when we get to it, because right here you can see this is a full diamond shape, where the others, where this is only a partial diamond shape. So I think if I had made this a full diamond by doing a repeat of another, maybe half of it, 6 rows or 8 rows, then it would be more of a rectangle. We'll know more as we get into it. So I'll be back as soon as I get 8 rows knitted. This video may be on the long side because the length of rows there is. Now what I did on roll 8, I had to do 4 increases, so I just increased on the 11th, 22nd, 33rd, and 44th stitch. That gave me the 57 that I need on roll 8. So now let's start with row 1. I will do the whole row 1, and then I'm not sure how I'm going to handle it. I'm not going to do all entirely 16 rows, I don't think, from start to finish, because that's going to really make this a very long video. But we'll see what happens as we go along. Let's just start with row 1. So it's the knit 6 is our border. So we're going to have a knit 6 at the beginning and a knit 6 at the end of each row. So we already know that, and all the rows are knit 6, purl to the last 6, and knit 6. That's all the way through. Like here's 10, 12, 14. So all of the odd rows are purl without any additional special stitching. So that's going to help a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Knit 6. If I can get my fingers working tonight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it says to knit 5 yarn over SSK, knit 2 yarn over SSK. Now I have a video out there that shows 3 different ways to do an SSK. I will show you the one I like to use the best because it is the easiest, but if you want to see the other 2 methods, just go to the video that says SSK 3 ways by Stitch Niche. Okay, so I'm going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over. Now one of the SSKs is where you slip, slip, and knit. Well, I don't like to slip, slip, and knit because I have a tendency to stretch my stitches. So I found if I knit 2 together through the back loop of both of them, it does the same thing as an SSK. And I don't have a tendency to stretch my stitches. Now that's the way I like to do it. Like I said, if you want to see the other 2 methods, you can go to the other video. What I'll do is after I get this row done, I will go to the other video and look at them myself, because I haven't done the other 2 in so long I don't even remember them myself, because I found this is the quickest and easiest way to do an SSK. Then it's knit 4. Okay, now I got to the end of the bracket, which means to go back to the knit 5 and repeat this again, and we do it 3 times. And that should get you all the way to the last 6 stitches. So let's knit 5. Okay, then we got a yarn over. We just wrap the yarn around the needle. knit 2 together through the back loops, knit 2, yarn over, SSK, like I said, the one I like is knit 2 together through the back loops, and then knit 4. Okay, so I've got 2 repeats done. Now we go repeat the third time, so go back to the knit 5. Yarn over, SSK, knit 2, yarn over, SSK, knit 4, now there should be 6 left, 2, 4, 6, which there is. Okay, so that means I have the right amount of stitches, and I know row 1 is correct. There's no adjustments I need to do on this. Now after I get all 6 of these washcloths done and I see if there's any additional adjustments that have to be made, I will make them, then I'll republish the actual pattern with all the corrections, because there's a couple with a couple slight corrections, nothing major. Okay, now we're doing row 2, which is knit 6, purl to the last 6, knit 6. So, okay, so we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm hoping you can see the white with the white paper behind. That looks like it might work. I wasn't sure if using white was going to work or not. If I have to, I can always leave the paper off and you can just see on the brown wooden base. This one I only got part of the stitch. Let me redo it. Sometimes I'm a little klutzy. I just have to take my time. And if I drop a stitch, I have to figure out where I dropped it and get it back on the needle the way it fell off. That's something that's kind of hard to show unless it happens at that moment. Then I can show you what I do. But I just can't arbitrarily say, okay, if this happens, do this. It doesn't always work that way. And I always like to keep my stitches close to the front of my needle, so I'm always pulling them forward like this. That way I'm not stretching stitches and everything is close by. So it's just a smooth, constant flow of stitches moving from the left needle to the right needle. Now, if you're left-handed, an SSK, you would do it as a knit 2 together. And if you're left-handed and you have to do a knit 2 together, you do an SSK. I know those 2 stitches are reversed because you're obviously going the opposite direction. You're going left to right instead of right to left. So that's 2 stitches that are definitely switched. Now there's several others. If you go on the internet, I'm sure you can Google it and find all the different stitches that are adjusted for left-handed people. I ran across it many, many years ago and I printed up a copy, but that was so long ago I don't even know if I have a copy of that page anymore. I'll do some looking, and if I happen to find it, I'll let you know, and I'll go ahead and put it on my website as a free download. I think it was 2 pages long. I just don't remember off the top of my head. 2, 4, 6. Okay, now I'm down to my knit 6. All right, now we go to row 3. Row 3, knit 6. Now, the repeat here is a little lengthier, but it's still the same amount of stitches because it's a repeat 3 times. So it's knit 3, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, SSK. Now we got to remember knit 2 togethers are different from an SSK because we don't want to mix them up, because that's what makes them lean either to the left or to the right. Okay, let's go ahead and get this one going. So we knit 3, knit 2 together. So you knit 2 together through the front loop. Oh, I missed part of that stitch, so I just catch it and take it over the needle. Okay, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, so yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, SSK, so now we're going to knit 2 together through the back loop. Yarn over, SSK again, yarn over, SSK, sometimes it's hard to catch. Just take your time. Knit 3 right there. Okay, 1 repeat is done. Now we go back to here and we do it again. So it's knit 3, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, SSK, which is knit 2 through the back loop, knit 2, SSK, and knit 3. Okay, so there's 2 repeats. Now 1 more repeat, then we should have 6 left. Okay, let's see how this works. So we knit 3, knit 2 together, so this is knit 2 together through the front loops, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, SSK, so it's through the back loops. I always keep them on close to the tips of my needle. It gives me a little bit more yarn when I do this. Knit 2, yarn over, SSK, knit 3, okay, now there's an issue because I should only have 6 left, and unfortunately instead of having 2, 4, 6 left, I got 2, 4, 6, 8 left. So somewhere along the line there is an error in this pattern. So I'm going to go and see what the error is and I'll be back. Okay, I went through the book where I got all my other patterns and I was not able to find this one in the book. I know it's around somewhere, but I'm not really sure. So at this point, I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to go straight to the last one in the pattern, which is this one right here. And as soon as I get the other one figured out, I will put that one out there. But for the time being, I'm going to kind of skip it. So if you get the pattern, ignore this one here until I have a chance to figure out where I made my mistake in this particular pattern.